The movie opens with an old legend from when the universe was ruled by powerful beings called the Titans. Their reign ended, however, when their own children forged a massive monster called the Kraken to overthrow them. Once victorious, these children called themselves gods, and their leader, Zeus, became ruler of the heavens. Meanwhile, his brother, Hades, ruled the underworld. Over time, Zeus created humanity in his image so mortals would worship the gods, granting them immortality and power. Eventually, humans began to doubt their creators, leading to an open rebellion against the gods. Next, a fisherman spots a coffin floating at sea. He discovers a woman's body and her newborn baby, miraculously alive. He raises the child as his own, and the boy grows into a young man named Perseus, working as a fisherman like his father. While sailing toward Argos, the family notices a giant statue of Zeus standing proudly over the ocean. They watch soldiers topple the statue from the cliff, crashing it into the sea and creating huge waves as they celebrate. Soon after, flying creatures emerge from the ocean, attacking the mortals who dared insult the gods. Though the soldiers try to fight back, they are no match for the beasts and are quickly killed one by one. The creatures merge as they collide, ultimately transforming into Hades himself. Spotting the fisherman's boat, the deity charges the helpless family and capsizes their vessel into the deep. While Perseus survives, his family remains trapped inside the boat as it sinks into the ocean. He swims desperately toward his father but cannot save anyone inside. On Mount Olympus, Zeus realizes humanity's defiance and becomes furious that they have rejected his love. Hades arrives and convinces his brother to unleash vengeance, asking permission to punish the rebellious citizens of Argos. Though Apollo warns that gods need human prayers to stay immortal, Zeus agrees to the plan, believing mortals must feel fear. Back on Earth, Perseus is rescued at sea by Argos soldiers and brought into the city. They take Perseus to the palace and report to the king that destroying the statue was a success. Princess Andromeda warns that angering the gods brings severe consequences, but her mother scoffs, boasting they are now like gods themselves. Suddenly, a thick cloud of dark smoke gathers in the center of the room. This mysterious force pulls the soldiers in, draining them one by one, while Perseus somehow stays grounded. The cloud clears to reveal Hades, who is intrigued by Perseus's ability to resist his dark magic. Hades turns his attention to the queen, draining her mortal life force. He warns he will unleash the Kraken in 10 days during a solar eclipse, unless they sacrifice Andromeda to appease the gods. Before vanishing, Hades reveals that Perseus is actually a demigod and the son of Zeus. The soldiers immediately capture Perseus. Soon after, Perseus is visited by a mysterious woman named Ivana. She explains that before his birth, King Acrisius attacked Mount Olympus, but Zeus disguised himself as Acrisius and visited the queen's chambers, taking the king's place. When the Real king returned, a furious Acrisius ordered the execution of his wife and her newborn child, Zeus's son. Before Acrisius cast their coffin into the sea, Zeus struck him with lightning, transforming him into a deformed beast. Ivana explains that his demigod abilities make him the only one capable of killing the Kraken. Perseus decides to join forces with Draco and his soldiers. They set out to find the witches, who possess ancient secrets, hoping to discover a way to defeat the Kraken. Meanwhile, Hades visits Acrisius, revealing Zeus's son survived the sea and offering him a chance for revenge. Hades infuses Acrisius with dark power, corrupting his body. Traveling through a forest, Perseus feels drawn to a glowing aura of light calling to him. He discovers a celestial sword, a gift from Zeus, and though amazed by its power, refuses it due to his resentment toward the gods. Soon after, Perseus encounters winged horses, and a massive black Pegasus lands right behind him. Ivana appears, explaining the mythical creature was sent to assist his quest. A terrifying scream cuts them short, and Perseus rushes back to find Acrisius has already killed 2 soldiers. The beast attacks Perseus, knocking him down a hillside and pursuing him relentlessly. The creature leaps high and crashes down with immense force, narrowly missing Perseus. Perseus tries defending himself with his sword, but the beast overpowers him and bites his arm, causing him to scream. Perseus breaks free as the remaining soldiers rush to help, though they are quickly pushed aside. As the monster targets Perseus again, Draco intervenes by severing its hand. With the injured beast fleeing, Perseus and his men give chase, unaware the severed hand is rapidly transforming into a giant scorpion. They track their target into ancient ruins to ambush it, but giant claws emerge from the sand, letting Acrisius escape. Enormous scorpions rise from the desert, forcing the soldiers into a desperate battle for survival. The warriors are quickly overwhelmed, several struck by venomous tails and tossed across the field. Draco leaps onto a scorpion, drives his blades into its back, and stabs through to bring it down. Perseus battles another scorpion and is struck by its claws before a lethal sting, but Ivana intervenes to slice off its stinger. Angered, the scorpion targets Ivana instead. Fortunately, Perseus rescues her at the last second. The scorpion lunges at him with full force, crashing through the ancient pillars. Perseus bursts out from its underbelly, killing it. Before they can celebrate, more giant scorpions appear, completely surrounding the group. As the monsters prepare to strike, they suddenly freeze as mysterious chanting echoes from afar. Draco recognizes the chanting figures as jinns. The jinns quickly pacify and control the massive scorpions. They offer to help the soldiers fight the gods for exiling their people. Riding the giant scorpions, the party crosses the desert to the home of the witches. There, 3 eyeless witches appear, already knowing why the warriors have come. The hags demand a price and attack, but Perseus snatches their shared eye, threatening to destroy it unless they reveal how to defeat the Kraken. Left with no choice, they reveal only Medusa can kill the beast, as her gaze turns living things to stone. Perseus tosses the eye back, but the witches cackle, warning he is destined to die on this quest. Descending the mountain, Perseus is approached by a figure revealing himself as his father, Zeus. Zeus warns Perseus he cannot defeat the Kraken or avenge himself on Hades, as the prophecy is set. Zeus offers his son sanctuary on Mount Olympus among the gods, but Perseus flatly refuses. Unwilling to see him fail, Zeus hands him a golden coin for passage to Medusa's domain. Traveling far, the group reaches a massive chasm where a misty, ethereal river flows. Perseus produces the coin, and the jinn casts it into the water, chanting to summon the ferryman. Skeletal souls pull a massive barge from the water, and Kraken, the ferryman, welcomes them aboard. They sail along a subterranean river of lava to the rocky shore of their destination. They disembark onto volcanic terrain at Medusa's temple, where only men may enter, leaving Ivana behind. They enter a lava-filled temple lined with the stone remains of Medusa's previous victims. Hearing her laughter echoing from the shadows, they realize she is close by. A barrage of arrows strikes, sending soldiers falling into lava pits, while Perseus holds on to save the jinn. Draco orders the men to attack Medusa, while Perseus pulls himself and the jinn to solid ground. The remaining soldiers try avoiding Medusa's gaze while hunting her, but are quickly turned to stone. Perseus and the jinn dodge lethal arrows, taking cover as the huntress stalks them. Perseus tells his companion to wait while he acts as bait, running out to draw her into the open. As Perseus dodges her strikes, the jinn attempts to attack Medusa but is coiled in her tail instead. Medusa tries petrifying the jinn, but her magic fails since his wooden body contains no mortal flesh. He laughs and detonates his magical core, causing a massive explosion. Before she recovers, an injured Draco pins her tail to the floor. She turns her gaze on Draco, turning him to stone, but this distraction lets Perseus track her using his shield's reflection. Medusa lunges forward as Perseus swings his blade and severs her head. Perseus emerges as the sole survivor with his prize, finding Acrisius has ambushed them and fatally stabbed Ivana. Devastated, Perseus attacks the monster, but is quickly overpowered. He fights back, but the beast's strength proves too great, and Perseus is tossed aside again. Looking at the dying Ivana, Perseus draws the divine sword, leaping into the air to strike and forcing the monster backward. Unable to withstand the celestial weapon, Acrisius is stabbed in the chest, reverting to human form before falling into the abyss. Perseus rushes to Ivana, but she urges him to ride to Argos to stop the Kraken before the eclipse. Reassuring him everything will be fine, she dissolves into golden stardust. Before he can mourn, Pegasus flies down, providing a way to reach Argos before it is too late. In Argos, as the eclipse begins, the seabed ruptures and massive tentacles surge toward the city. Panicked citizens bind Andromeda to a sacrificial platform, offering her to the Kraken to save the city. The Kraken's tentacles rise from the sea and slam into the harbor, shattering buildings as the people panic. Meanwhile, Olympus trembles as Hades reveals his true plan to Zeus. He manipulated the gods into war to empower himself. Born of Hades' essence, the Kraken's terror feeds his power while weakening the other gods. Perseus approaches to kill the beast, but Hades sends a swarm of flying demons to stop him. The demons snatch the bag holding Medusa's head, forcing Perseus into a chase through the crumbling streets. He shakes off his pursuers and knocks them down, desperately trying to recover the head. Soon, the colossal Kraken fully emerges, roaring at the terrified city while the princess watches in despair. Perseus hunts the final demon carrying the head, dodging the Kraken's thrashing limbs along the way. He leaps from Pegasus to tackle the demon, crashing through a building to land near the sacrificial platform. As the Kraken closes in on Andromeda, Perseus recovers Medusa's head and runs toward the beast. He reveals Medusa's face to the monster, causing the creature to slowly turn to stone from its eyes outward. The Kraken roars in pain as its massive body hardens and crumbles, destroying the structures below. Andromeda is thrown into the sea as the stone Kraken completely shatters. Hades manifests to strike Perseus, but the hero channels sky lightning through his sword, hurling it at the god and banishing him to the underworld. Perseus dives in to rescue Andromeda. The two wash ashore, exhausted but alive. Grateful, Andromeda invites him to rule Argos by her side, but Perseus declines, having no desire to be king. After returning Andromeda to her people, Perseus is visited one final time by Zeus. As a reward for saving Olympus and humanity, Zeus revives Ivana, allowing the hero to live out his days on Earth with the woman he loves.
Please like and subscribe.